Hello everyone. So today I'm gonna teach you how to create a web page, a very basic one as you can see here. So what I have right here is just a title, a picture of a dog, a link, paragraph tags, and a footer. So here are the things you need. You first need a computer, obviously. Second, you need a text editor. And third, you need a browser, which I'm using is Chrome right now. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is you need to save your file as a index file. I mean as a HTML file, but I'm gonna call it dog. So right now we have a blank page. Let's put in our first code, which is okay, which is doc type HTML. So what this code does, it tells the browser what version of HTML you're using. And now we're going to put HTML, which tells the browser this this document is a HTML. So now we do a head, and inside the head is where you provide all the general information of the document, like scripts, styles, title, the meta information, stuff like that. So we're gonna type in meta char set equals UTF-8, and what 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 this is responsible for is it tells the browser what type of characters we're using, because each language has their own character, like like Japanese has those symbols and etc. So we're gonna put the title of the page, which is dog, and we're done with the head. We're going to go on to the body, which is where you provide your contents, what your page is all about, like text, images, audio, hyperlinks, videos, tables, lists, and so on. So we're going to put a header tag, and inside the header tag, it's responsible for introducing the content, or you could put a set of links to pages, websites. But in this case, we're going to just put the title and call it Dog's Life. So in HTML, there are six headings: H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. What you need to learn right now is H1 is the most important one. But yeah, the rest you really don't need as much. But yeah, so we're done with the header. Let's go to figure. Figures for self-contained content, such as illustrations, diagrams, photos, and examples of code. But in this case, we're just going to put a picture of a dog. And then the alt attribute is basically if the picture doesn't show up, but this text here will show up instead. Now we're going to add a caption to the picture. Fig caption. Inside there, we're going to put a link to our web page. I'll get that later. H. Hold on. Alt equals. Yep. Before href, I usually put this attribute target, which basically means once you click on the link, it will open up another tab on your browser, which I like. So now we're gonna call the link 50 gives a dogs. And we're done with the fake caption, a figure. Let's do some paragraphs. So this is one paragraph, and then we're going to do another one. This is another paragraph. Okay, and now we're almost done with this page. We just have to put a footer. And a footer is basically for information about the author or copyright info, or basically a way to contact the owner of the page. But in this case, we're just going to put some copyright information. So 2016 Dog's Life. Let me grab this real quick right here. Copy this. And copy the link to the page, to the juice. Alright, save it. And now we've done the basic content, just HTML, and it will look like this. Let me show you. Open with. It will look like this. You know, doesn't look cool. Doesn't look, it doesn't have that style. But that's where CSS comes in. Well, there are 3 ways to incorporate a CSS. The first way is internal style, which basically you just go inside your head tag and you type in some CSS. So for this example, I'm going to type in background color sky blue, and it will turn the background to sky blue. That's internal. A second way to incorporate CSS is it's called inline style. So basically, you just go to a tag and then you type in the CSS. So let's do it again. We're gonna make it the background color blue, sky blue, and still there. Okay, and then a third way of incorporating some CSS is if you do external style sheets. And basically what that is you go here, type in link rel equals style sheet, so the browser can know what you're linking to, and then you type in href, and then at the path or the name of your CSS, just like this, and it will incorporate the CSS. But right now we're gonna go with the basics, very basics, which is internal style sheets. So what I'm gonna incorporate is the following. The asterisk basically it selects every element on in your document. So we're gonna center everything. Text align, center, and then the text decoration is basically responsible for native styles like a link. A link has the underline, as you can see here. Every browser has this default style for the links. So we're going to change that into none, so you don't have that underline. And next we're going to do HTML, which basically grabs a whole HTML tag which contains everything. And we're going to put the background color as sky blue. And then after that, we're going to go for the paragraph tags, and we're going to make them a little bigger, 2 EM. But before that, we should put the container first. Container. So let's have a width of 80%. What else? Let's center it. And then I'll leave this for now. So I forgot to mention, inside tags you could incorporate an ID or a class attribute, and what those are responsible for is for CSS. So in this case, we're going to do ID because it's only one element we want to target. Wait, no. Let me create a div There you go. So we're gonna do the same thing we did as we did with the body, except we're gonna put it on a div, and a div is basically a container for a session of element tags you want to incorporate. But in this case, we're gonna put a right after the body, and we're gonna name it container. So we have the container because right now it'll look like this. Well, now it'll look like that. So then, see. So this is how it will look like. Right now it's centered because of the margin 0 auto, and the width only takes 80% of the whole page, because if we take that out, this is how it will look like. It will take up the whole page, as you can see here. So let's put that back, save it. What else? Let me take this out though, because you already seen. And last but not least is the footer. The footer looks plain right now, as you can see. This is the footer right here. Let's spice it up a little bit. So what we're gonna do is add in a background color of white, so that whole section will be white. Let's make it a width of 80%. So it's 80% width of the container. That's in. And then let's put a margin. So right now there are 4 zeros, and basically a margin is you add space above, right side, bottom, or left side. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a 5% space on top of the footer element. We're going to do auto for the left side of the element. We're going to leave it 0 for the bottom, and then auto for the left. Okay. So let's see how it looks like now. There you go. And basically, this is how you create a basic web page.